Okay, so this is modeling chocolate, and I don't know if many of you have worked with it or not. It's a little different from fondant, but it's got a lot of the same properties as fondant, except for the fact that fondant you always have to keep it covered because it gets that elephant skin on there, makes it hard to work with. It dries out, gets hard bits in it, and you can't get them out. And so modeling chocolate is basically just confectioner's coating or real chocolate. You can do it either way. The guitar, the appeals, or whatever. And corn syrup. And what you're doing is you're actually trying to make the chocolate seize. You warm up the corn syrup, you mix it together, not too fast, just enough to get it mixed, and then you let it sit. And it makes this amazingly pliable chocolate clay. It's candy clay, modeling chocolate. There's a ton of different names for it, but it's all the same thing. You know, in the cake decorating world, we have 4 names for the same thing. So anyways, okay, so I just like to take and I'm just going to roll it out, and I roll it with a piece of saran or cling film over it, just because it keeps my, I don't know, I just think it works a little better. Just it stays cleaner and, you know, anyhow. Okay, so just long strokes, and once again I'm going to use my my bamboo skewers for my thickness. And you don't have to worry too much about lifting it like with parchment, because it doesn't matter if it has little dings and things in it, because once you start putting it on there, you can smooth it out and it's fine. Okay. Now just be careful with these skewers, because they do have a dip at the end, a pointy end. So if you get to the end and you find your whatever you're rolling out isn't quite level and you wonder what happened, it's probably because you went off the end of the stick somewhere. Went off the rails, people. Keep it in between the lines. Okay, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it in squares. I've tried to do these with diamond shapes, and it ends up looking like an artichoke, which it kind of looks like an artichoke anyways, but it really looks like an artichoke if you use the 2 pointy ends, the diamond. So I do squares, and I usually do 1-inch squares. So I'm going to take my handy dandy pastry cutter thing here. I think I got this at Sur La Table. You can get them online or wherever, but I try to make it so that they're all 1 inch. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but just hold it up against your ruler, or if you have it on a mat that has a cutting mat that has the grid lines on it, that's even better. But that's it, just really crank it down so it doesn't move on you. So this looks like I can probably do this in one pass. So just go very carefully down, cutting, we're cutting, okay, turn it, and then we're just gonna cut again. And sometimes it'll pick it up, just kind of drop it back down. So if you don't want to go right in that same groove, because sometimes it messes it up. I do that all the time. I really just, kind of eyeball it. And, does not have to be absolutely perfect, because why? It's a 1,000-year-old egg box. That's right. Okay. You guys are listening. Nice. Okay. Okay, there we go. And there we have squares. So take the kind of wonky pieces here that you're not probably going to use and gather them up, because we are going to use them, just not as scales. So you're probably going to need a lot more than this, but I'm just going to get started and show you how to get that done. So you're definitely going to need a turntable. With a non-skid pad, I use these, this stuff is my life, this non-skid stuff. Okay, so let's go to the fridge and see if our egg is stuck. Look how pretty that is. Now, don't worry too much about the bumps and lumps, because that's just going to be there. So, okay, but this will make it easier, so you're not handling it. Like I said, modeling chocolate does not like the heat. Well, it does like the heat. That's what makes it so awesome. But that's part of the deal with modeling chocolate, is it starts to get really soft after you've worked with it for a while. Just the heat of your hands. And so when you're figure modeling or doing something like that, and you find it's just it's just not holding up for you, just set it aside. Go have a cup of coffee. Go play with the kids or whatever. Just let it rest. Let it sit, because it will firm up in the in the just the coolness of your house. Okay, now see, this egg is cold, and you don't want to push on it too hard because it'll break off, and then you got to reset it. But that's not a big deal. But I like to cover the top like this. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to start laying them on. And I like to leave the top a little open so that it has, you know, so it looks like it's, I don't know why, I just like that look. And then you're just going to keep going around, and you just lay it down and try to keep it as symmetrical as possible. But I tell you, I get halfway into this thing and then it starts getting all wonky. But you know, it's fine. It's all good. Okay, so there we go. We're just going to start laying these on here. And then our next layer is right in the center there.